And we're going to talk a little bit about the fact that relationships are things that are absolutely fundamental to the way that God has made us. He has made us for relationships. We are built that way. You know, the very first thing God said when He created Adam was, it isn't good that he be alone. That doesn't only speak to marriage. It speaks to the fact that we as people are created for one another. The entire story of the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, is actually this one story. It's the story about God's relationship with us and how, despite the fact that we keep not wanting it, we keep dissing Him, we keep turning our back on Him, He keeps pursuing us and loving us and forgiving us and bringing us back into a right relationship with Him. All so that we, as His forgiven, restored, rightly related people, can then give that away to other people who don't have it. That is the entire story. That is the simplest way I can explain Christianity to you. And how He gave the life of His own very Son to fix the relationship that was broken. This is the heart of what God is about. And that's why He built it into us as people, relationships. Relationships in every single way. With our families, with our friends, with our co-workers, which is what we're going to do. What we're going to find as we talk about relationships tonight, in class has got more, and I've already gone longer than I said I would, was that they are the key. They are absolutely the key to you advancing or going backwards in your job. Employment study after employment study, talking to employers after employers after employers. This is the make it or break it. You can know everything out there is to know. You could be the biggest brain and but if you can't relate to people, the workplace doesn't really have a whole lot of use for you. And I know that's hard to hear. Or what's going to happen is you're going to get to a certain level and that's going to be about it. But learning how to relate to people, treating everybody as though, like Paul says in Philippians, treat everybody as though they're better than you. Paul says that. Philippians 2, 1 to 8. Turn there real quick.
Your personal relationships. So we're going to start asking ourselves questions. We're going to write answers. Terry's going to keep you busy. Terry, somebody who probably hires or works with 150 to 200 employees, on a daily basis and hires. Sherry and I would get to talking, and she's having a rough day today, so she's a little tired. But you look at Christians, and what are some of the attitudes, and what does it make up of a Christian, and how does that affect us in work? So the first question we're going to ask ourselves, and by the way, this is supposed to be all interactive. All right, otherwise it's going to be boring. We'll be done in 10 minutes. Or maybe not. And we're actually have some videos. Some are kind of funny, but it's all to bring home the different points. This is all to try to look into ourselves. So the first question we want to ask is, what would you consider to be good qualities of a Christian? Just name some, throw them out there. And Sherry can write as fast as you can.
Honest,
Hector? Kindness.
Honesty.
No car swearing.
No swearing? Okay. I should love you in that one. So you think about that. Before he did his ministry at the age of 30, he was a carpenter, right? For the first, for 20 years of his life. I don't know if he had his own business. We don't know that, but I'm sure he did. And so what kind of person would he be? He would be ethical. I think you would get a fair deal from him. If you paid for a piece of furniture that he made, it would be high standard. He wouldn't use cheap quality. He would be somebody that would listen, understand your needs. So I guess that what we're trying to get is picture Jesus as a carpenter, as a working person, and how can we be like him? And think of those characteristics. Do you think he would be a phenomenally successful carpenter?